This recipe was super fun. It's gonna be really, really good, y'all. A cowboy cornbread, a chicken, barbecue chicken cowboy cornbread. And we're about to dig into it, and we're gonna take a look at it. We're gonna see what it looks like, y'all. So this is the first scoop. Super fun twist on a cowboy cornbread. We're gonna do a barbecue chicken cowboy cornbread. This is a really fun recipe. We're gonna I didn't have any regular hot rice cornmeal like I normally like to use. So today we're gonna be using Jiffy. And it's okay because that sweetness, we kind of need that little bit in there, but we're gonna be loading this up. I still gotta grab a couple of things, a couple of cans of corn. So let's get everything put together. Super simple. Real quick, we're gonna get the cornbread mixed up first. All right, so we got a lot of stuff that we're gonna be adding in here. We're gonna just take and we're gonna just dump the 2 boxes of Jiffy cornmeal mix, or cornbread mix, or corn muffin mix, whatever you wanna call it. We're gonna dump that into our little mixing bowl so we can go ahead and start throwing away all of our trash. Now, with this recipe, you're not gonna be putting the exact amount of milk because we're gonna have so much other stuff in the cornbread. Now, if you need to add a little milk for, to thin it like it needs to be, then that's what you'll just add in a couple tablespoons at a time. But because we're gonna be having sour cream, the 2 eggs, you'll probably get a little bit of juice from the corn. This is some fire roasted corn. So we're gonna go ahead and dump it in there. So you'll get a little juice. I've drained it, but it's gonna be a little bit. You'll also get a little bit of juice from the baked beans. Yes, this is gonna be a barbecue chicken cowboy cornbread. We're gonna take a little bit more of baking powder. I had a little bit in here, so it's probably maybe a teaspoon extra of the baking powder. We're gonna get rid of that. I've got a stick of butter. We're gonna melt a stick of butter in a little pan, just like so. Let me get this butter open here. So we're gonna melt a stick of butter. This is why you won't need all of the milk. You'll just need a little bit. So we're gonna melt the butter in a smaller little pan, and we're gonna take I'm trying not to touch that chicken there and touch my little thing. So we're gonna be using some frozen seasoning blend that I've thawed out mostly. We're just gonna cut it open. This is, when I say seasoning blend, this is in your frozen section. This is just onions, peppers, a little parsley, a little celery, almost like the Holy Trinity, but it's in a bag. So we're gonna take about half of this bag, give or take. Might not take quite half, about that much. So let's call it half. And we're gonna saute that. We're gonna saute that down in the pan because all this is going in through the cornbread. So we're gonna stick it over here on like a 3 or 4, and we're gonna let it kind of do its thing. We're gonna keep my rag handy. And we're gonna go ahead, I've gotta get some cheese grated up. So we're gonna do like a half a block. So we're gonna do about 4 ounces to start with of pepper jack cheese. Use whatever kind of cheese you like. I've got a little bit of Colby Jack right there that I'm going to use, and we are using the Guidel. If you want any, I'll have everything linked in the description. The cheese grater and stuff like that, so y'all can find everything there. I don't think it's going to need, too terribly much. Now we are going to be, I may grate some more up, so we can cover, put some on the top, kind of at the end. Or we might just put the cheddar, put the pepper jack in it. I like to try recipes, y'all, and this is kind of a recipe that's just kind of was in my head. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I like to have fun with some of my recipes. Just to, just try it. Try it, have fun, and see what you can come up with. What works and what doesn't. Let's unstick him from the thing. All right, so we got our cheese. I can kind of eyeball it, see about how much. We might can get away with half. That's probably a cup. And I'll have to do, we're gonna do the rest. We're gonna just shave the rest of it up. But I think that's, you know, a cup and a half or so of shredded pepper jack cheese will be fine. We're gonna go ahead and do our 2 eggs. We're gonna do our 2 eggs. And we're gonna get all of this nice and mixed up. And I just got some egg on my cutting board here. So let's clean up our little mess. And we've got a chicken breast that I barbecued yesterday. Get you some sour cream. This is just a new container of sour cream, a dollop of daisy. And we're gonna put about a half a cup. So we're gonna figure about a half a cup of sour cream. And we're gonna set everything kind of to the side. And we've got our baked beans. I don't know, I wanna put everything kind of together. So let's see how much juice we have. Yeah, we got a good bit of juice. Now these, we're going for the barbecue flavor. So I'm gonna kind of get a bowl. We're gonna mix these up like barbecue baked beans, and then we'll go in with what we need to, the amount that we want, and then we'll be going into our sprayed, our greased little pan here, because we want it to come out good. And on the smoker, we're gonna cook it on the smoker, probably around 400 degrees, about what cornbread would, that way we don't have to cook it, but maybe about 40, 45 minutes, because this is 2 cans and it's gonna have the extra stuff in it, the beans. We're gonna chop the chicken breast up. I'm just gonna slice down through, and then we're gonna actually chop it up, and in the cornbread, it's gonna go, or if you want, you know what? I think I'm just gonna stick it on top. I think we're gonna actually stick the chicken on top of the cornbread, let it kind of be its own, you know, star of the show on the top. And I mean, these, you know, it's still cold. This was cooked yesterday, so this is a good way to use a leftover chicken breast. Make sure that they're as juicy as you can get them. You know, this one's not heated up, and we're going to just make sure we cut it into some you know, some small. You can shred it up if you want. I'm just taking the culina, and we're just kind of rough chopping it here, so we can kind of, you know, stick everything right on top of that cornbread. Make sure that everybody's got enough. This is a pretty big breast, you know what I mean? So just get it chopped up, rough chop. Just go through there. I can take my fork now and set it down. And we're just gonna kind of, you know, run the culina through. And we'll have some big pieces, some smaller pieces. And we're actually gonna take a little bit of the barbecue sauce, and we're gonna kind of spread this, you know, put a little bit of barbecue on it, mix it in a bowl, and get it mixed up. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take and get us a small bowl. Actually, I'm gonna get 2 bowls. And we're going to take, and we're going to get the chicken, and we're going to put the chicken in this bowl. So we're going to get the chicken in a bowl real quick. Now we had my homemade barbecue sauce on top, but right now we're going to just take just some whatever kind of barbecue sauce that you want to use. Right now I'm just going to take a little bit of this Kinder's. This is the hickory brown sugar. Get it on my hand. And we're going to just stick some in here. Just kind of like you would be using a little buffalo sauce. And we're just going to toss it. So we're still going to put some barbecue sauce in the baked beans. The baked beans are also going to be, let me stir my little veggies real quick. And I've still got, now all you need to do is kind of heat this through. You don't need to saute these down too much, and don't do it on a high heat. I've also got some bacon. We got some bacon in the air fryer. So we're going to be chopping that up as well. All right, so we're going to take our baked beans. We're going to get us a spoon. And we're going to put our baked beans in. So we're going to kind of sort of do this just like you would do a barbecue baked beans. My barbecue baked beans are on the sweeter side of things. I do add barbecue sauce. This is a little Sweet Baby Ray's. Not going to go as strong on it today, but at least a half a cup, maybe 3/4 of a cup of some barbecue sauce. We're going to put some green onions. So that's this some of our green onions that we grew. I know I saw one go somewhere. There he is. A little bit of green onions, and we got that seasoning blend, those onions, peppers, celery with that butter. That's all going to get mixed in. Okay? We're going to take a little extra brown sugar. So we're going to take some brown sugar. We're not going to use the white sugar. We're going to have a little sweetness in the cornbread. But we're going to take a little brown sugar. At least maybe a third of a cup, quarter of a cup, third of a cup brown sugar, whatever you like to taste. And we're going to give that just a little shot of yellow mustard. So we're going to do about a tablespoon of yellow mustard. And we're going to give that a little mix. So we're just going to give that a good little mix right now. And then we're going to get ready to put that bacon in there. Normally I would have my bacon sitting on top. But doing it this way, everything's going to be kind of mixed in. So the cornbread's going to look a lot different. It's going to look more like a Cowboy Casserole. We've got to toss this with my fork in that barbecue sauce. Just get it kind of coated just a little bit. You didn't need a ton of barbecue sauce on the chicken. And then putting it on the top is going to let it heat back up through for sure. All right, so we got our veggies done. So we're going to take our veggies and we're going to put our veggies and our butter right in the beans. Because all that doesn't need to be, it don't have to be hot going in that cornbread. So we're going to cool it down in those beans. That's what we're going to do. Get me a little soap going on right there. Give that butter. Oh man, that butter smells so good. And it just splashed up on my arm. Whoo! Smelled really good. Really, really, really good. All right. Now you'll be able to tell just how much. I'm going to just use the sour cream. We're going to use the sour cream spoon to stir with. How about that? All right, so we're going to just get the eggs, sour cream, cheese, and we'll be able to tell and see about how thick we're getting and about how much milk, if we're going to need any milk after we put these beans in here. So just get everything mixed in there good. Make sure we got that dry. I'll just be eyeballing. You know what I mean? So you could do this with hamburger meat. You can do this with sausage. But we're going to do it with barbecue chicken. Yeah, it's still a little thick, but we haven't even got the beans in there yet. All right, we want a little bit of this bacon grease right in the cornbread, y'all. So we've got the bacon grease. Let me hold that so that don't fall in there. Just a little bit, y'all. Maybe a tablespoon of the bacon grease is all you need. And then we're just going to take the bacon and we're going to be chopping that bacon and throwing it right in them barbecue baked beans. So we've got our bacon grease. That's going to be super good. So about a tablespoon of that bacon grease. You don't want to overwhelm it, but just trust me. Just trust me and add some in there. Rough chop through the bacon. Watch your phalanges. This was about, I don't know, 6 or 7 pieces of bacon is what I put in there. And it's, it's cooked completely. But some places are really crispy, some places were not. So we got some big, we got some little. And you can't go wrong with bacon and cheese, And I just felt like this was just calling my name. Let me wash my hands for 40-second time so I can touch something. A little paper towel. And we are back. We are back. All right, so we're through with the cutting board right at this moment. Let's get that bacon in there. If you want some seasoning, by all means, this is when you're going to add it in. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of my mixture. You can use some barbecue seasoning. This is just my mixture of salt, black pepper, granulated garlic, and granulated onion. A couple teaspoons is all I'm going to need in that. I just don't want a whole lot of extra seasoning. Remember, we're going to get that extra sweet from the Jiffy. Since I didn't make it homemade like I normally do, because I didn't have any cornmeal. And now we're going to start adding this in to the cornbread. So we're going to come on in there with that. That's about half. If I have to, I'll cook the rest of them on the stove or something. But I just want to make sure to see how we're going to get this cornbread mixed with these beans. Because it's not going to come out, well, it will a little bit. It'll be kind of yellow, but then again, it kind of won't, you know. It's going to have a distinct darker color. You could always, if you wanted to, you could always put like some cornbread in the bottom, pour some beans on it, cover it with some cornbread, and then put the chicken on top. This is pretty close. It's a little thick, so we can go a little bit more. Mike can get it. We're gonna put it all. We're gonna put it all, and we're gonna see where we land. This may have, if it's too thin, I'll get another box of cornbread. And we'll call it with 3 boxes instead of 2 boxes. Which is a good, we might can do that. I think we might be able to. So that means 1 more egg. Ooh, and this will feed us for, this'll feed an army, y'all. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna grab 1 more box and 1 more egg. And this is gonna make a really good meal. 1 more yard bird egg. All right, so we're gonna put it in our pan, and it's gonna be full, y'all. It's gonna be pretty full. Yeah, this is gonna be a full. This is probably gonna take a little bit longer time than I originally planned since we've got the 3 boxes. So we're gonna look at probably at least 40, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Yeah. I'm trying to get it all to you. I'm trying to get it all. I don't want to leave anything behind. There's a little bit left. We're gonna get the old Z-Grill fired up, and we're gonna do a little cooking before we add the last bit of cheese. Now we're gonna go ahead. No, you know what? The chicken's already cooked. I'm not gonna put the chicken on until this is like halfway through, because we'll dry that chicken out, and all we need it to do is heat through. So we're gonna go on just like this on the Z-Grill, about 400 degrees, and we're gonna start checking it at about 30 minutes. All right, y'all, so now we've been cooking for almost 40 minutes. Being that this was 3, hey, Miss Bubbles. Being that this was 3 boxes of Jiffy, it made a whole pan. So we're a little bit jiggly in the middle. It might get a little darker than I wanted to on the edges because of this thin pan. But we're gonna go ahead and add our chicken on top because we just didn't want it to overcook. So we're just gonna take, and I'm just gonna go a little bit at a time. I guess I could have took it off, and I could have did it by hand. Whew, that's hot. That's like hot, y'all. So, cause I don't really want to drop any of this chicken. I really don't. And this pan's super full. And we're gonna put this barbecue chicken on top. We're gonna spread it out. And if you want to use more, you know, go ahead and use more. This was only 1 breast that I cooked yesterday on the Z-Grill. We had some grilled chicken. I do have some chicken thighs that I could have used, but I didn't. All right, so we got all the chicken on. We're just gonna kind of spread it out. Try to get just at least a little thin layer. So at least if everybody can get a little bit of chicken every scoop. And we don't want the chicken to get overdone. And it's already cooked anyway. Now we're gonna take some of our cheese. This is pepper jack and the last little bit of Colby jack. And we're gonna add on our cheese. So just add that cheese on there. And we're gonna wanna get that melted on the top. Oh, there's my little alarm. And I've got a big skewer that I've been checking the center with. I've been going 10 minutes more at a time. I knew this was gonna take a little while, you know, to get done because it was so thick. But I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna just get all that cheese on there. We're gonna close it back up and we're gonna time it for another 10 minutes and then we'll check on it again. This recipe was super fun. It's gonna be really, really good, y'all. A cowboy cornbread, a chicken, barbecue chicken cowboy cornbread. And we're about to dig into it and we're gonna take a look at it. We're gonna see what it looks like, y'all. So this is the first scoop. It got a little bit browner than I thought. But I hope that y'all will watch this. The bottom got a little browner because of the thin throwaway. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That cheese on top. We got to get a fork and we got to taste this. We got to see how good it is, y'all. So let's check it out. It's got those barbecue baked beans going on, that pepper jack cheese with that barbecue chicken breast on top. Lord have mercy. You can tell how dark it is because that's the barbecue baked beans in there. Lord have mercy. Y'all. Good little barbecue casserole to serve at your next gathering, y'all. Whew. I hope you enjoyed the video, y'all. I hope you'll come back and hang out with us anytime right here at our With the Bickhams kitchen. And I definitely hope you will share the video with somebody, some family and friends. Bring them back along with you to the kitchen with Craig. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification button so you'll get a notification the next time that I post a video. And I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. I'm Craig with the Bickhams. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, y'all.